Yes, thank you, Gus. I hope you saw how incredible we think as you as a manager. Luna smiled. Especially for coming over on Saturday. Thorn chimed in with a chuckle. Well, actually, I had some additional motivation for wanting to come over. I had been planning to wait till Monday to call you, but when Thorn called, I know how it would be perfect time to share about the phone call I got at the end of the day, Gus explained. A local radio station, KWPL, gave me a call on Friday before I left the office. They saw the news broadcast of the premiere of your music video, and they want to interview you girls the Wednesday after Christmas on the morning of the show at 8 a.m. Do you think you girls would be open to doing that? Would we? Thorn's eyes lit up. That would be incredible, Luna chimed in. I remember that station, Dusk exclaimed. They were the first to play Hex Girl on the radio, so I don't know who the hell would give that answer to yes. Although it seemed like their music career was beginning to take off again, Dusk wasn't going to let herself get lost in the fame this time. Ivy's comment really stuck at her at the back of her mind. For somebody who's known for not caring what others think of you, you sure do care about a lot of what they think of you. Dusk would be the first to admit that she cared way too much about what others thought of her lately, but she absolutely had no desire to do that anymore. Dusk wouldn't actually forget how she desperately wanted the songwriters' group's approval, and how it run their confidence into the basement, trying to bend over backwards to please them. She wasn't going to lose over the people who didn't seem to impress no matter what she did. Why give a shit about them if they didn't give a shit about her? Florence remarked about how much she loved the songwriters group back in high school. It also came to the front of her brain. Dusk could remember that when three of them wrote their songs together, it never dreamed about being so achieved on the tour. She had been so much fun then. Compared to the sad sack that she had been lately, that was good the fame and validation. If it had made you completely lose yourself, music was a form of art, and if Dusk had learned anything from this experience, it was the songwriting music meant nothing to her if she wasn't trying to stay true to who she was. It had been a week and a half since Dusk's adventure at Dayton's aunt's house and the discussion with Gus, and she had been eagerly anticipating the night of concert at Jack's. Long at last, it was finally there. Surprisingly, Jack's was pretty packed tonight. There were around 40 people who come to watch the concert, which was impressive considering their usual numbers of 10 or 20. To love the earth with all one's desire, the girl sang loudly in illusion. Thorn played the final note on her guitar. Thank you for coming, everyone, Thorn exclaimed. Happy holidays, Luna chimed in, as the crowd began clapping. As the crowd began disbanding, Dusk's eye immediately caught Elmer, the old man who seemed to admire their music, walked up to the girls from the back of the crowd with his wife. However, before he was able to reach them, Jack hurried out of the kitchen over to the girls. Amazing performance, girls, Jack exclaimed. Hey, your manager Gus just called into the restaurant asking for you. I can grab it, Thorn said, rushing off to get the phone as to not keep Gus waiting. Dusk wondered what he could be called about this hour. Her attention quickly was diverted when she saw Elmer and Martha come up to them. Ooh-wee! That was one heck of a performance, ladies, Elmer exclaimed. I haven't bobbed my head to that hard to the song since the Big Bopper put out Chantilly Lace in 1958. He wasn't kidding. He was really tapping those tootsies tonight, Martha sweetly chimed in. It's good to see you young ladies are here. I've noticed it's been a while since you performed here, Elmer pointed out. Yeah, I think we're going to be performing here a lot more, though, Thorn smiled. That's great to hear, Martha remarked. You young ladies have a great night. Dusk found it really sweet that Elmer and Martha had taken so much liking to them. However, her mood quickly dampened when she saw two audience members came up to her, Dawn and Dayton. Hey, Dawn greeted. Her voice was cooler than the back of Jack's ice-coated freezer. Nice job tonight. I noticed you didn't come to the last meeting on Friday. Yep, Dusk matched Dawn's tone, trying to sound disinterested. I've got a lot going on, so I don't think I'll be coming anymore. Oh, that's a shame, Dawn passively remarked. I hope you weren't offended by us giving you feedback that one night. Since we're a songwriting support group, we just want to help you elevate your artistry to the next level, Dayton commented. Dusk tried to hold back on the oncoming cringe. She wasn't hurt by Dayton's remark. She was more disgusted about how passive-aggressive Dayton was being. Well, I'm comfortable with the way the band approaches artistry, and we've got a solid manager who gives us great feedback, and the band has found a way to write more that makes us all feel fulfilled and happy, Dusk answered. She wasn't even trying to be passive-aggressive or brag. She honestly was so done putting up with the group's elitism and fake bravado. All right, I think I see what you mean. Dayton's tone was diplomatic, but began to get edge to it. Well, if you're ever ready to elevate your songwriting game, we're still meeting every Friday at my aunt's place. Thanks, but I'm okay. I guess if I'm honest, I don't really feel like the rest of the group writes in any way that aligns with the band music style. That's okay though, because that's the beauty of music. Really, anybody's got a different approach. Dusk's voice was polite when she sassed over the former friends. A slight smirk began to grow on her face as she said it. She absolutely knew that she was being passive-aggressive with over-the-top indifference of politeness. Admittedly, she loved it. They deserved to be called out on how unnecessarily exclusionary and how haughty that they were being. Now that she didn't give a fuck of what those assholes thought of her, she thought of having the chance to become a taste of her own medicine. She loved it more when she saw Dawn and Dayton walked away in disgust. Once the two girls had gone a safe distance away, Luna turned to Dusk. I'm proud of you for standing up for them, Luna smiled. I never liked those girls. I've always got a weird exclusionary vibe from them. I should have seen it before, but I totally see where you're getting that vibe now. Even the way they were villainizing Mayor Corey, they didn't give a shit about environmental justice or making progress, Dusk dissed. From what I've saw, they were so caught up in shaming people for themselves and power that they completely lost in sight of the goal we were actually trying to wanting, which was stopping the environment from being harmed, Luna agreed. Yeah, they were trying to make themselves feel important by acting all high and mighty, but in reality are nothing more but a phony bitches, Dusk sneered, feeling a bit of caprice from somebody else pointing out their awful jerks of Dawn and Dayton were. Whatever, I'm not gonna let those asshats get to my head anymore. Dusk spun around until she heard a voice from somebody behind her. She thought it was Thorn coming back from talking to Gus, but her heart sank a little when she saw it was Ava. Hey, Ava said, sounding a bit awkward. Hi. Dusk's tone was turned cool and detached, like it had been with Dawn and Dayton. She was so confident that Ava was probably asking why she had missed the last meeting on Friday as well, so she figured she might as well explain it. If you're asking about the songwriter group, I'm not a part of that anymore. It wasn't a fit for me. Actually, I hope this wasn't awkward, but you know how the way you were arguing with Dawn and Dayton the other night? Ava clarified. I just want to say that I really admired you when you stood up to them. Honestly, I never said anything because I've been feeling uncomfortable with the whole group as the weeks went on. I just hated how they peer pressure everybody to write a song every week. To be honest, sometimes they use different lines from different songs from multiple weeks in a row to pretend it was a new song, so I just couldn't get called out for not having written anything. Oh! Dusk was admittedly quite surprised. She definitely didn't expect Ava to say something like that. I'm glad you know I wasn't the only one who felt that way. You definitely weren't. They were hazing at you for a couple of weeks ago. It finally clicked me that the group was toxic. Seeing you stand up to them made me realize that I didn't want to be a part of those songwriting meetings anymore either. I joined because I didn't know any other songwriters, but I was really happy when I was just writing stuff for myself, instead of trying to come up with the stuff for their approval, Ava revealed. No pressure, but if your bandmates ever wanted to compare notes about music without the pressure of that group, here's my number. Thanks, Dusk smiled, taking a piece of paper out of Ava's hand. We will give you a call sometime. Happy holidays! Happy holidays to you too, Ava smiled back. She turned around and headed out of the restaurant. As Ava walked away, Dusk saw Thorn hurry back towards the group. Her eyes were lit when she looked incredibly ecstatic. What did Gus told you? Luna eagerly asked. You guys aren't going to believe this, but Earth, Wind, Fire and the Hair just hit 50 on the commentary chart hit radio, Thorn exclaimed. Whoa! Dusk exclaimed. I can't believe we have our second hit in a row, Luna said in awe. Congratulations, girls, a familiar voice said. It was a earned top 50. Dusk turned back to see that the words had came out of Mayor Corey's mouth. He had donned a blue suit and tan pants, so Dusk assumed that he hadn't gone home yet for the evening. "Thank you so much," Thorn exclaimed. "I didn't know you watched our concert." "Well, I didn't see all of it. I was just stopping for a bite to eat after a long day at the office," Mayor Corey remarked. "I had quite a bit of paperwork to throw together for the county with the pipeline stuff. This happened this afternoon." "Is that still going on?" Luna asked in confusion. "You mean you girls didn't hear the news?" Mayor Corey asked. All the girls shook their head. Gorcha Industries are being sued by Onburn for the leak of the pipeline. Citizens have called the outrage about a leak after watching your video, and after some investigation by the city officials there, it was discovered that the oil spill documented your video was a result of negligence of the company's part. But the company used a lot of cheap materials to cut the corners, and it turns out those materials were shoddy and dangerous level. The pipelines were being stopped by every city being built in, and the county has asked me to throw together another report of the incident this afternoon," Mayor Corey shared. "Whoa! All that happened because of our video?" Dusk gasped. "Seems so, yes," Mayor Corey confirmed. "All the citizens and calling in what appears the county to investigate the building materials, and I presume your video is what drew enough attention to call in the first place. You girls should be really proud." I'm speechless," Luna stuttered. "This is incredible. I'm so happy we were able to help the city like this," Dusk remarked. "I'm so proud of you girls for standing up for what you believe in. The city owes you a huge debt of gratitude," Mayor Corey appreciated. "If you girls don't mind, I'm afraid I'm starved. I'm going to grab something to eat. Great job tonight." "Thanks, Mayor Corey. Have a good night," Thorn replied. "You girls ready to head out?" "Hell yeah. I don't think I could possibly end the night on a better note," Dusk laughed. "I can't believe our video has stopped the pipeline, not to mention calling out the corrupt company," Luna added. "I can't believe we have another top 50 song," Thorn said, as she headed down towards the soccer mom van. "Seems like things are going to pack up in the new year." "Honestly, I'm fine even if they don't," Luna said. Luna's remark admittedly gave Dusk deja vu about the anxiety the redhead had faced tour. She wasn't so sure if she liked the redhead meant, but she was too curious not to ask. With everything going on, she had admittedly forgotten about Luna's uncertainty about staying in the band due to her dislike of touring. "You mean, you're still debating whether or not you want to stay in the band even if we get famous again?" Dusk asked. "That's not what I meant, but yeah. I guess I'm not sure if I want to get overwhelmed feeling of performing up in front of thousands of fans." Luna paused, her face looking deep in thought for a moment. "But honestly, if our music is going to get this kind of a difference, I don't think I ever want to stop making music. Gus is so supportive of us, and if you guys are here again, and if you guys are ever so supportive of me, then I do know we'll figure it out, even if we decide to achieve that level of fame again. I guess on hindsight, there's no way to know for sure. I'll be too anxious for the tour again, and all I know I'll be disappointed with myself if I didn't try." "I'm so glad," Thorn exclaimed. "It'd be so weird making music without you." "Yeah, I love making music with both you too. It's just so much to stop because I'm scared of being anxious. Can't even describe what a feeling that is to have our music reach to the fans and make this kind of a difference," Luna answered. "And Dusk, in terms of being fined for not being famous, and I just think I have hit a point there where I'm comfortable with whatever happens." "Yeah," Dusk paused for a moment to think about her response matched of how she felt inside, really. After staying up to Donna Dayton tonight, and how happy she felt just performing for a small crowd at Jack's, she quickly became confident enough to answer, "I think I'm comfortable with whatever happens too."